Every person alive today is standing at the crossroads of two destinies. One leads to a life of limitation, frustration, and wasted potential. The other leads to abundance, freedom, and the fulfillment of everything you were created to experience. The difference between those two paths is not luck, not circumstance, not the actions of others. It is the state of your mind. The mind is the workshop of creation, and the one who learns to master it gains mastery over every circumstance, every obstacle, and every opportunity life has to offer. There is no greater power given to you than the power to think. Thought is the beginning of all achievement, and yet it is the one power most people neglect. They allow their minds to drift like a boat without a rudder, tossed about by the winds of fear, doubt, gossip, negativity, and the limitations of others. But the one who understands the true nature of thought takes hold of this mighty force, shapes it with intention, and directs it toward a definite purpose. That person cannot be denied, for life itself bends to the will of a disciplined, determined mind. Every fortune ever built began as a thought. Every invention, every empire, every work of art, every scientific discovery was once nothing more than an idea in the mind of someone who refused to let it go. That same power lies dormant in you, waiting to be awakened, but to awaken it, you must first claim it. You must decide, with unwavering conviction, that you are the master of your mind, not its servant. Until you make that decision, your desires will remain wishes, your goals will remain distant dreams, and your life will remain smaller than what it was meant to be. The first step in mastering your mindset is clarity. You must know exactly what you want. The vague hope for a better life will never produce results. You must define, in specific detail, the life you deserve. Do you know the income you desire, the kind of home you wish to live in, the type of relationships you long to enjoy, the contribution you wish to make to the world? These things must not remain clouded shadows in your imagination. They must be painted with color, given dimension, and written on the canvas of your mind with precision. A clear mind, set upon a clear objective, becomes a magnet for opportunities that align with it. Once clarity is achieved, desire must be kindled into a burning fire. Weak desires bring weak results, just as a weak flame cannot cook a meal or warm a house. It is the intensity of your desire that fuels persistence, and persistence is the unbreakable force that conquers every difficulty. Life will test you, obstacles will rise, doubters will whisper, setbacks will come. But the one with a burning desire cannot be turned aside. Desire makes you unstoppable, and when it is coupled with faith, it creates an unseen force that moves mountains and opens doors no man can shut. But desire and faith alone are not enough. You must take deliberate control of your thoughts each day, for the mind is like fertile soil. Whatever seeds you plant will grow, whether they are weeds of fear or flowers of faith. Most people plant both and wonder why their gardens produce confusion. You must guard your mind as you would a precious treasure. Feed it with uplifting ideas, powerful words, and visions of success. Starve it of doubt, gossip, and destructive influences. Surround yourself with those who build you up rather than tear you down, for the company you keep shapes the atmosphere of your thoughts. Another principle of mastery is the use of autosuggestion. Your mind becomes what you repeatedly tell it. The subconscious accepts every command given to it, whether good or bad, whether intentional or careless. When you repeat to yourself daily the vision of what you desire, backed by emotion and faith, your subconscious goes to work day and night to bring it into reality. This is not wishful thinking. It is the deliberate programming of the most powerful machine you possess. Many have used this principle to rise from poverty to wealth, from obscurity to influence, from despair to joy. The same principle is available to you if you will discipline yourself to use it consistently. Discipline, in fact, is the bridge between thought and reality. Without discipline, the finest plans collapse. Without discipline, the noblest desires evaporate into thin air. Discipline is the proof of your commitment, the demonstration of your seriousness. It is easy to think about success. It is easy to speak about what you deserve. But the one who disciplines his mind to focus, his body to act, and his habits to align with his vision, is the one who rises above the crowd and lays claim to the rewards that others only dream about. Your environment also plays a powerful role in your mental mastery. The mind cannot thrive in an atmosphere of constant negativity. If you dwell among complainers, you will soon find yourself complaining. If you spend your time with dreamers who never act, you will soon adopt their inactivity. But if you surround yourself with those who are driven, determined, and purposeful, their energy will elevate your own. The law of association cannot be ignored. Choose carefully the influences you allow into your life, for they are either watering the seeds of your greatness or poisoning the soil of your potential. It is equally important to understand that failure is not your enemy. The one who seeks to master the mind must embrace failure as a stepping stone. Every setback carries with it the seed of equal or greater benefit. Every mistake teaches a lesson. Every rejection refines your approach. Those who fear failure become paralyzed. Those who embrace it become unstoppable. The greatest achievers are not those who never failed, but those who never stayed down. Your mind must be trained to see failure not as a wall, but as a doorway to wisdom, growth, and eventual triumph. Gratitude is another indispensable tool. A mind steeped in gratitude is fertile ground for abundance. When you focus on what you lack, you attract more lack. When you focus on what you already possess, you multiply it. Gratitude shifts your perspective from scarcity to abundance, from fear to confidence, from frustration to joy. Begin and end each day by giving thanks for what you have and for what is yet to come. In doing so, you tune your mind to the frequency of blessing, and blessings flow more readily to those who expect and appreciate them. Do not neglect the power of imagination. Imagination is the workshop of the mind, where desires are given form before they are built in reality. Every innovation, every discovery, every empire began in the imagination of one person. Dare to see yourself as you wish to be. Dare to live in your mind the life you deserve, until it becomes so real to you that the world has no choice but to catch up. The one who masters imagination masters the future, for the future is born in the pictures of the mind. Yet imagination without action is fantasy. Action is the price you must pay to turn thought into reality. Action, consistent and determined, will separate you from the millions who wish and the few who achieve. The smallest step forward is greater than the grandest dream never acted upon. Train your mind to act immediately on your ideas, for hesitation is the thief of opportunity. Many dreams die in the graveyard of delay. Those who succeed are those who take bold, decisive steps, even when the way is uncertain. You must also learn to master your emotions, for they are powerful allies when controlled, but destructive masters when ignored. Anger, fear, jealousy, and resentment will poison your thoughts and sabotage your progress. Love, faith, enthusiasm, and courage will accelerate your growth and draw others to your cause. The disciplined mind does not allow emotions to dictate actions, but uses emotions as fuel to propel itself forward. In the end, mastery of the mind is mastery of life, for everything you desire, everything you hope for, everything you truly deserve begins in the inner world of thought. If you can see it clearly, feel it deeply, affirm it daily, discipline yourself consistently, and act upon it boldly, there is nothing that can stand in your way. The universe itself responds to the focused mind, and opportunities appear where none seem to exist. The wealth, the love, the influence, the joy you deserve are not outside your reach. They are waiting for you to claim them by mastering your own mind. The more you study yourself, the more you will see that the only true limitation in your path is the one you accept in your mind. When you believe you cannot, your actions shrink to match that belief, and your results prove you right. But when you hold fast to the belief that you can and you will, your mind begins to uncover strategies, resources, and strengths that you did not realize you had. It is as if a new world opens to you, yet the world was always there. The difference was the lens through which you viewed it. By mastering your mindset, you polish that lens until you see opportunity in every challenge and strength in every struggle. Consider the person who has endured hardship, loss, and repeated disappointment. One individual allows these experiences to harden into bitterness, convincing themselves that life is unfair and that nothing will ever work out for them. Another person, facing the same hardships, uses them as fuel, shaping the pain into resolve, learning lessons, and strengthening the will to rise. What separates these two outcomes is not the external circumstance, but the internal mastery. The mind, when mastered, turns wounds into wisdom and obstacles into stepping stones. This is why no external force can stop the one who has decided, deep within, to live at the highest level of their potential. The road of mental mastery is not paved in comfort. It requires you to wrestle daily with doubt, laziness, and distraction. It requires you to say no to temptations that promise quick gratification but steal long-term fulfillment. It requires you to persist when others give up, to keep moving when fatigue whispers that you have done enough, to maintain your vision when others mock you for dreaming too big. But every act of discipline strengthens your inner command, and with each victory over yourself, you gain a new level of power. Eventually, you become unstoppable not because life is easy, but because you have become greater than anything life can throw at you. Patience is another weapon in the arsenal of the one who masters the mind. The harvest of your efforts may not appear immediately, and the world may tempt you to give up because the results are not yet visible. But the farmer does not plant seeds and then curse the soil for not producing a crop overnight. He waits, he waters, he weeds, he protects, and in due time the harvest comes. So it is with your dreams. If your faith wavers, you will uproot the seed before it can grow. If your patience holds strong, you will one day reap far more than you planted. Master your mindset to believe that delays are not denials but preparations, and your spirit will remain steady until the vision is fulfilled. Do not underestimate the power of spoken words, for your tongue is the rudder of your destiny. What you say about yourself programs your mind and directs your actions. Speak defeat and your mind will create it. Speak victory and your mind will build it. The words you repeat shape the reality you experience. Train yourself to speak with confidence, clarity, and faith in your ability to rise, and soon your circumstances will bend to match the language of your conviction. The one who learns these truths and applies them consistently will not only gain what they truly deserve, but will also inspire others to do the same. For the mind, once mastered, radiates a power that cannot be hidden. It attracts respect, opportunities, resources, and allies. It commands life itself to yield its treasures, and the journey to this mastery begins the moment you decide that nothing outside of you has the right to dictate your destiny. Only the state of your mind does. The difference between those who achieve greatness and those who settle for mediocrity often lies in their response to the small, ordinary moments of life. Greatness is not only born in extraordinary events, it is cultivated in the daily choices of thought and action. When you discipline your mind to see value in small steps, to honor the little victories, and to treat every day as an opportunity to advance toward your vision, you build momentum that compounds into massive success. The average person dismisses the power of a single day, but the one who masters the mind understands that each day is a brick in the construction of destiny. Your ability to focus is one of the strongest signs of mastery. The modern world is filled with distractions, voices competing for your attention, and temptations designed to scatter your energy. The unfocused mind drifts aimlessly, chasing after whatever is loudest or most urgent in the moment. But the focused mind becomes like a laser, cutting through noise and obstacles to reach its target. To master your mindset, you must train yourself to ignore distractions, to withdraw your attention from what is irrelevant, and to give your full energy to the task that aligns with your ultimate vision. Focus is power, and the one who controls focus controls results. Another aspect of mastery is resilience. Life will test you again and again, and those tests are not sent to destroy you, but to reveal to you the strength you already possess. When you adopt the mindset that nothing is wasted, even the hardest experiences become training for your growth. The resilient mind does not break under pressure, it bends, adapts, and returns stronger. This is why the storms of life cannot defeat the one who has anchored their thoughts in unshakable belief. Where others see disaster, the resilient mind sees renewal. Where others stop, the resilient mind pushes forward. The energy of your mind is also influenced by the state of your body. A neglected body weakens the mind, while a disciplined body strengthens it. The food you eat, the rest you take, the movement you engage in all contribute to the clarity and energy of your thoughts. To master the mind fully, you must treat the body as its servant and partner, giving it the fuel and care it needs to sustain long periods of focus and productivity. This is not about vanity, it is about vitality. A sharp mind in a weak body is like a sword left to rust, its potential wasted. Equally important is the ability to forgive and release. A mind weighed down by grudges and bitterness cannot rise to its highest state. Resentment ties you to the very people and situations you wish to escape. But when you forgive, you free yourself. You create space in your heart and mind for new opportunities to enter. Forgiveness does not mean weakness. It is the ultimate act of mastery, for it proves that you control your inner world rather than allowing others to control it through your emotions. Finally, remember that your mindset is not mastered once and for all. It is a daily practice. Each sunrise gives you the chance to choose thoughts of power or thoughts of weakness, thoughts of abundance or thoughts of lack, thoughts of faith or thoughts of fear. Each day you choose again, and each choice strengthens the pattern you are creating. Over time, your choices form habits, and your habits form character, and your character forms destiny. The life you truly deserve is not given to you by chance. It is earned by the steady, consistent mastery of your own mind. The truth about mastering your mindset is that it is less about what happens around you and more about what happens within you. Circumstances may shift, economies may rise and fall, people may change, but your inner command remains the one constant that can steer you through every storm. If your mind is anchored in strength, you cannot be easily shaken. If your mind is filled with vision, you cannot be easily distracted. If your mind is trained in persistence, you cannot be easily defeated. The battle for your future is fought not in the world outside, but in the arena of your thoughts, and every victory you win there becomes visible in your life. Every man or woman who has achieved something remarkable has done so not by accident, but by aligning their thinking with the results they desired. They rehearsed their success in their imagination long before the world applauded it. They spoke to themselves words of faith when the evidence around them gave no reason to believe. They kept moving forward when the easier choice was to quit. This is the essence of mastery, choosing the higher thought even when the lower one feels easier, choosing the vision when the obstacle looks larger, choosing persistence when fatigue demands surrender. What you must understand is that the universe responds to courage. Opportunities rarely come to the hesitant. They come to the bold, to those who step forward with certainty even when the path is unclear. When you master your mindset, you teach yourself to think in terms of possibility rather than impossibility. You train your mind to ask, "How can I?" instead of "Can I?" That one shift opens doors, reveals resources, and attracts helpers. The timid mind waits for guarantees and never moves, but the courageous mind creates its own guarantees through decisive action. Your self-image is also central to your destiny. You cannot live a life that contradicts the way you see yourself. If you see yourself as unworthy, the world will reflect that belief back to you. If you see yourself as capable, deserving, and powerful, the world will eventually conform to that identity. This is why you must carefully construct the image you hold in your mind. See yourself already living the life you deserve. See yourself already walking in confidence, already enjoying the abundance, already contributing to others in meaningful ways. Hold that image until it becomes so deeply rooted that nothing outside of you can uproot it. You must also learn the discipline of silence. Not every dream needs to be spoken aloud, especially to those who lack vision. Many great ideas are destroyed not by failure, but by exposure to the wrong voices. Guard your vision until it is strong enough to withstand criticism. Share it only with those who encourage and support it. The mind grows stronger when it is protected from the careless opinions of others. The moment you take responsibility for the atmosphere around your mind, you step into true mastery. At last, remember that what you truly deserve is not just material reward, but the peace of knowing you have lived true to your highest potential. Wealth, influence, recognition, these are byproducts of an inner state. The greater reward is the freedom of a mind unchained, a mind that commands life rather than being commanded by it. When you master your mindset, you do not merely chase after what you deserve, you attract it, you create it, and you live it day by day, thought by thought, choice by choice. The mind is like a compass that points the direction of your life, and when you take command of it, every step you take begins to align with the destiny you desire. Too many people allow their compass to spin aimlessly, influenced by fear, doubt, and the constant chatter of those around them. They wander without direction, settling for whatever comes their way. But the individual who decides once and for all that their thoughts will serve their vision sets the compass toward a definite goal and refuses to let it waver. Such a mind begins to attract circumstances, people, and opportunities that align perfectly with the chosen destination. It is not magic. It is the natural law of focus and intention. You must understand that no one is coming to hand you the life you deserve. It will not arrive wrapped in silver paper, delivered to your doorstep. It must be claimed, and the claiming begins in your thoughts. When you see yourself as worthy, you begin to act in ways that affirm that worth. When you hold the belief that abundance is your right, you begin to take actions that move you closer to abundance. When you affirm daily that your future is brighter than your past, your decisions begin to reflect that faith. Life does not give you what you beg for. It gives you what you are convinced belongs to you. It is easy to drift back into old habits of doubt and fear, but that is why mastery is a daily discipline. Each morning, you must choose again to direct your thoughts toward courage, toward faith, toward the clear image of what you are building. Each night, you must review the day and remind yourself that progress was made, even in the smallest actions. This repetition, this constant training of the mind, transforms temporary effort into permanent character. In time, it becomes more natural to think powerfully than to think weakly, more natural to expect success than to fear failure. There will be times when no evidence supports your vision. The world may laugh at you, circumstances may contradict you, even those closest to you may doubt you. But mastery means holding your faith steady in the silence, keeping your vision alive when there is no proof, nurturing your dream as a farmer tends to the seed hidden beneath the soil. The day will come when what was once invisible bursts forth for all to see, and those who doubted will marvel at how you endured. Do not measure yourself by what you see today. Measure yourself by the vision you hold and the discipline you apply. Today may be filled with struggle, but if your mind is aligned with strength, tomorrow will bring reward. Today may test your patience, but if your mind remains steady, tomorrow will unveil opportunity. The outer world always catches up to the inner world, but the inner world must lead the way. This is why you cannot afford to surrender control of your mind to anything or anyone. Guard it with vigilance. Train it with discipline. Feed it with faith. Direct it with clarity. In doing so, you take command of the one force that shapes every other area of your life. And when you have mastered your mindset, nothing can keep from you the life you truly deserve. So let us remember this truth. The greatest battle we will ever fight is not against the world outside, but against the doubts, fears, and limitations within our own minds. Mastery of the mind is mastery of destiny. The life you dream of, the opportunities you long for, the abundance you believe you deserve are not waiting somewhere in the distance. They are waiting in the transformation of your thinking. The moment you take charge of your thoughts, you take charge of your future. Refuse to let fear write your story. Refuse to let failure define you. Refuse to let doubt silence your vision. Decide today that your mind will serve your purpose and not your weakness. And as you hold fast to your vision with faith, discipline, gratitude, and persistence, you will rise into the fullness of the life that was meant for you. You will not simply wish for what you deserve, you will live it.